This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
And I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, John.
What's going on? What do you got for this? What do you have for us this week?
Well, you see, this week, and you have to forgive the the horrible pun I'm about to engage in. So, I got one of the biggest releases of the year.
Uh-oh.
This is DC's Wednesday Comics, which is literally absolutely huge. It is because basically the concept behind this is DC's collection of DC's latest weekly series. This is coming after the first three, which were 52, Countdown to Infinite Crisis, and Trinity. And this one is a big stylistic break from the other three, which were basically ongoing stories. This one is a throwback to basically way back in the day when you had when comic book sections in newspapers had full page like comic adventures, Prince Valiant, Terry and the Pirates, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just gone. It's just something that's gone way out of vogue in recent years. And so this is their artistic director Mark Chiarello wanted to do a big tabloid style comic book series. And so we have the way it was published, that you have each week that you buy the thing and just basically fold it out like a newspaper, and you get 12 pages of different comic book serials. They were Batman, Commandy, Superman, Deadman, Green Lantern, Metamorpho, Teen Titans, Adam Strange, Supergirl, Metal Men, Wonder Woman, Sergeant Rock, The Flash, Demon and Catwoman, and Hawkman. All in their own adventures, and just 12 stories told one page at a time over 12 weeks. It's a big experiment and a gamble on DC's part. And while it didn't exactly set the sales charts on fire, it's definitely, I can definitely say it stands out from a lot of stuff they've done in the past year. And overall, the book is undeniably an artistic triumph, because a lot of the artists here, they're not the big A-list guys you associate with big comic books these days, but they're all really great, really good artists in their own right, and giving them a page at a time, a huge page in order to work their craft, really pays off in a lot of these cases. Writing wise, though, well, it feels like a lot of the writers here were trying to channel a specific feeling for these comics, trying to get them to feel what is the core appeal of these characters that we liked from back in the day, and sometimes that works out really well. Other times it just feels like there's a lot of fanboy rah. It's I really like these characters. Why don't you? Type BS. But overall, it's still a fantastic collection, handsomely produced, and if you're an art fan, then definitely go for it. But as for everything else, well, here, let me run down the stories real quick. You got Batman by Brian Azzarello and artist and his constant co-collaborator Eduardo Risso. Now they've already done Batman before in Broken City, which for some reason I still haven't picked up, but I'm probably going to pick it up after this. Though this Batman story, it's more straight up crime fiction than just than Batman itself. I mean, a guy gets killed, and Batman has to try and figure out the motives behind it, and there's naturally the femme fatale, and hired muscle who falls in love with her. And Batman's standing around just trying to, and Bruce Wayne is trying to figure out what's going on. So it's not bad, but both creators have done better in the past. Okay, then you get Commandy, The Last Boy on Earth by Dave Gibbons and artist Ryan Sook. And this one, probably more than any of the other comics here, does try to channel the old Terry and the Pirates. Serial type feel. I mean, it looks just the look of it, the way it's done, and I think it works really well. Even though I know that I've only got a passing familiarity with the character of Commandy, this story just feels like a big greatest hits rendition of the story. I mean, you got Commandy fighting against the gorillas with his lion partners and stuff. And it's a lot of fun, and I'm not sure if I'd want to go back and read some of the older Commander stuff because I don't know how well that is held up. But this approach convinces me of the appeal of the character and why he's liked so much throughout the years. Now, the next one is Superman by John Arcudi and artist Lee Bermejo, and it's not bad. It's kind of feels like a standard Superman story where he fights some aliens and then starts wondering, do I belong? Yeah, it's like am I really just like an outsider in this world? And then after a while, but it's eventually revealed to be like an alien plot to make Superman go emo for a while. I like that. Lee Bermejo's like dark and gritty approach to it is a nice contrast with how we're usually used to seeing Superman portrayed. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the story is just kind of like, all right, I've seen Superman stories before. And this one, probably wouldn't make the top 10, sadly enough.
Like, where's the kryptonite come in?
Yeah. The next one after that is Dead Man. With art by Dave Bullock and story by Bullock and Vincent Dweck. Now, this is a fun story. It's basically like told in the style of a 50s Private Eye yarn with like our hero Dead Man, who's basically a guy who died and is now just like his spirit going around helping people who trying to help people out. He winds up getting sent to a dark dimension at the behest of some girls in order to help them out after they've been killed, and then finding out that things aren't always what they seem. I mean, it's very noir in the way that Azzarello's Batman story was, but it's definitely more appealing because all these noir conventions are played out like in really hellish demonic dimensions, and it's just like gone completely over the top. And yet, even though it's ultimately all the conventions are ultimately familiar, they're still done in like a very, very unconventional manner. So overall, this is definitely a winner right there.
Okay.
Then you got Green Lantern by Kurt Busiek and artist Joe Quinones. This one is kind of fun because it's basically because like the style is basically it's a throwback to like swinging '60s, back when Hal Jordan's brand of square-jawed heroism was really in vogue. And this has him saving a buddy of his who went on to be an astronaut after he's infected by an alien virus, and then after he's done that, takes care of that, he has to fight off an alien invasion all by himself. It's great. Yeah, it's great fun, and Quinones' art is really cool. It's like very clear, crisp style of storytelling, and it tells the story well. Looks great too. Now the next one is for me like the real high point of the collection. That'd be Metamorpho by Neil Gaiman and artist Mike Allred. Now Gaiman is best known for his work on the Sandman, but he's also got like he also does have a humorous side that he can indulge in every once in a while, and he goes full force right here because this is basically because Metamorpho is created by Bob Haney, one of Silver Age's most infamous storytellers, because he just like loves going for like big, crazy, over the top stories that it's like I just like throw this in, and like none of this makes sense, but I'm gonna tell you a story at the very end that ties it all together. Like this is I believe, if memory serves, I think he's the guy who told the story of how Superman once tried to have Batman burned at the stake during the Salem witch hunts. So that's the kind of thing that we're going for here. And Gaiman captures the story, captures the feel really well in his story from the double entendres about Sapphire, one of the daughter of Metamorpho's employer, how she gets caught in a giant clan. He says, and Metamorpho talks about this thing. Heck, I knew Sapphire's fondness for giant clans would get her into trouble. She was holding the mother of all pearl necklaces, and now she's trapped. You see, those kinds of things, like, that's kind of the style of humor he's going for. Doesn't seem naughty on the surface, but then when you think about it,
just peel back one layer.
Yes, and Allred's art is absolutely fantastic. It just gets like the retro cool style of this appeal of the character and the era, especially, and also some great some great experimental storytelling, like when Metamorpho and his partner Element Girl try to race across the periodic table of elements, naming out all the elements in their dialogue as well. It's truly something to behold, and really like I said, the storytelling highlight of the series. Now, then after that, it's followed up by one of those raw fanboy style stories in Teen Titans, which basically has. But the Teen Titans are basically like DC's all their sidekicks and younger heroes fighting like in their own team, and they're fighting this guy called Trident, who's, from what I understand, is a D-list supervillain, but he winds up kicking their ass, and they're just trying to figure out like how's he able to do this. Well, in a story by Eddie Berganza, who's a Superman and DC group editor, and artist Sean Galloway. I mean, the ultimate reveal is just kind of like, oh, well, okay,
that's it.
Yeah, it's like it's basically another excuse to have them fight one of their most noteworthy villain. But Galloway's art has a definitely like a cool minimalist appeal to it, especially in the way it looks like it looks like an animated series playing on page. So like it's like I said, it's the example like even if the stories in this volume don't set your mind on fire, the art is still like still worth looking at. But then it's followed up by Strange Adventures, Paul Pope's take on Adam Strange, and that's this guy. I've talked about it before on the blog, and this guy, man, there's nothing he can't draw and make look cool at the same time. So it's basically, in the story, it's just basically him, like Adam Strange, man of two worlds of the alien planet Ron, where he's a hero. He's basically like a like Flash Gordon era sci-fi superstar, and then on Earth, where he's just basically some archaeologist dude. And well, that plays up that dichotomy well. It's like he also does some great action storytelling with the fighting as Ron is threatened by an army of blue ape invaders, and it's great stuff and a lot of fun to see. And basically, it's just more proof that Paul Pope is completely awesome. Okay, next up is Supergirl by Jimmy Palmiotti and artist Amanda Conner. And now I wasn't expecting much from this series because I was like, Palmiotti's art, Palmiotti's work hadn't really set my mind on fire before, and Amanda Conner, like she does some good work with Garth Ennis in the Pro. But I've never actually seen more of her art in action. But seeing this, I mean, wow, it's a lot of fun. I can definitely see why she gets the acclaim she does, because it's a lot of fun. As basically the entire story is just Supergirl going after Streaky the Super Cat and Crypto the Super Dog, and it's like I'm seeing like all the crazy super level chaos that they both cause, and like her art, it's just great in the way she can depict characters' expressions of body language, and just like it gets completely ridiculous in the way that they show this stuff, especially the twist at the end when you finally find out just what was causing them to go crazy in the first place. I mean, it's really well done. Definitely a lot of fun, and one of the better stories in the collection. Okay, next up is another one of those raw fanboy type stories. That's Metal Men by Dan Didio and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Now, Didio is one of DC's BP, one of their editor in chief. He's Joe Quesada's opposite number at DC. And this guy, he's done a lot of questionable editorial choices in the series over the years. I've heard lots of stuff how he just like interfered with a lot of the stuff that I've liked. And like his writing here, it's standard superhero fare. I mean, like, I know the idea behind a Metal Man is like you get all these metals like gold, iron, lead, tin, mercury, and platinum. Just like in human form, like to have them have these elements personified, and it's I see him do this, and it's just kind of like okay, it's like you told a story that's really doesn't do anything special with them. Like I really would have liked to seen like someone like Grant Morrison do a story on sentient metals than on what he comes up with here, because it's just really just dead standard superhero stuff. I mean, I can't say it's done badly. It's done. I've seen this story done so many times before that I can't be bothered to care. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez's art, I mean, guy's a professional. I mean, like, he just draws his stuff well. I mean, you look at the stuff and he just handles all the action and the drama perfectly. I mean, you just look at him and you wish that all superhero art could be as competent as this. Yeah. But as for the story, I can't be bothered to care too much.
There you go.
Now, next up is Wonder Woman by Ben Caldwell, and my God, more than any other artist or writer working here in this collection, he just goes to town on trying to cram as much information and panels on the pages he's given for this story. I mean, especially the story of Wonder Woman trying to obtain the 7 stars of the Amazons, basically all of her famous gear, like the Lasso of Truth and stuff like that. And I admire that. I have to admit, even the story doesn't quite grab me. I cannot help but admire the technique that this man displays. I mean, just to cram all this stuff together on one page, it's like it takes a lot of skill, and even if it doesn't read together entirely clearly in sections, it's still it's still an undeniable show of talent. And I kind of like the whole the animation look he gives to it. It kind of looks like a Disney film put to page. So, like I said, it's not an unqualified success, but still a success nonetheless. Okay. Now the next one is Sergeant Rock, DC's one of DC's most famous war hero, and more than any other thing here, it's like I feel it represents a missed opportunity, because it has art by his most noteworthy artist, Joe Kubert, and it's written by Kubert's son, Adam Kubert. And the thing is, we know that that Joe Kubert can draw Sergeant Rock like no other. His son, though, well, some proves that he can string together a bunch of panels to tell a comic book story. Can he tell an interesting one? That remains to be seen. It's basically the story of Rock getting captured by some Germans while Easy Company tries to find some partisans, and eventually the stories converge at the end, and everyone goes home happy. Well, most everyone, but I don't know. I think this would have been a much more interesting take on the series if we had gotten Adam to draw it and had Joe write it, because we know that Joe can. Joe's got a great command of the character, but can his son do World War II style action? Because we know that Adam can draw Superman and Wolverine really well, but can he do Sergeant Rock? Well, we'll never know, apparently. But I think the main reason that didn't happen is because while Adam's work at DC is basically consisted of nothing but destroying deadlines. Yeah, because he's the Superman story. Last Son just ran so late that they had to publish it in an annual in order to complete it. Yeah. Okay, now the next story, The Flash, which is another story that has art by Carl Kerschel, and Kerschel co-wrote it with writer Brendan Fletcher. And this story was probably the biggest surprise of the book, because I wasn't expecting something to have as much time travel over hard sci-fi time travel storytelling to it. Because basically the story it starts off with the Flash, being late for a date with his love of his life, Iris West. And after fighting Gorilla Grodd, and then just Iris just realizing, I can't do this anymore. It's like and she leaves a note saying that she's leaving him, and then Flash gets so bent out of shape by it that he's shaking, that he vibrates so hard that he goes back in time. And so this keeps up throughout the course of the story, because he's committing doubles of himself going back in time to try and fix things. But then things get crazier and crazier as Gorilla Grodd also reveals his plan to capture a singularity to harness Flash's power to capture a singularity and then create a society for nothing but gorillas. I mean, it's got some crazy over the top stuff here, especially towards the end, which I was looking forward to seeing how are you going to tie this all together. Which basically at the end it's just kind of like it was kind of all a dream. Or it never really happened. Actually, I mean, it's a huge cop out though.
Yeah, it is.
It had come before. I mean, I was looking forward to seeing him try and find a way to solve this, but it didn't. Anyway, the next story, the Demon and Catwoman, is a fun little team-up story between Selena Kyle and Jason Blood. As she gets invited to Blood's house to check out some artifacts. Take a few home for her own personal use. But then she winds up getting tossed into a magical dimension and then being used as a vessel by one of Blood's nemesis, Morgaine Le Fay, as a vessel for her to come back and be resume being evil. It's a fun story. It's not bad. It's just go back to the old DC style, like taking two characters who you wouldn't expect to see team up in a situation, then just throwing them together and see how they work. It's not bad. It's written by Walt Simonson and it's art by Brian Stelfreeze.
Okay.
And it's not bad. It's like can't say it just like it really grabbed me, but it was still okay. Now, final story in the book is Hawkman by Kyle Baker. And it's a fun. That's also like a fun action story. It basically first starts off with him rescuing a plane from some terrorists. But then the terrorists then the plane crash lands on Dinosaur Island, and the JLA can't help him out because they're busy trying to fend off an alien invasion as we speak. So you get to see him, Hawkman, be completely badass. Save the plane, fight off a T-Rex. It's like just good crazy stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get some one sheets for other series. I assume they had done pitches for. You get Plastic Man by Evan Dorkin, and who's the artist? Oh yeah, Steven DiStefano, which I would like to have seen more of. And then Beware the Creeper by Keith Giffen and Eric Canete, which not bad. Not bad, but I still would have liked to see more of Plastic Man. So, I mean, it's a mixed bag, but for these kinds of anthologies, I mean, I'd say the hit ratio was more than this, and I have to admit, I applaud DC for taking this step, and I kind of wish I'd see more kinds of experiments in this kind of style, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be going that way for the near future. Yeah. So overall, it's like if this sounds interesting to you, then hey, it's like I kind of recommend it. I mean, I've got this through my Amazon discount because this thing is $50 normally.
Wow.
It's a big ass hardcover and it's oversized. I mean, you could fit it's just like two trade paperbacks. It's like you fit almost like 2.5 trade paperbacks on the front cover right there. I mean, that's how big this thing is.
Wow.
So props to DC for doing this. Is it for everyone? No, but if you like if you have fond memories of the old days of old school newspaper comic strip storytelling, or just you want a nice story that cuts to the core of a lot of characters, some of these characters might not be that interesting. It's worth checking out. All right, so. Anyway, so on that note, I've gone for way too long about this, but next time, I'll be back from Comic-Con and hopefully have lots of stuff to talk about then.
Oh, awesome. Well,
okay.
we look forward to that, and We'll see you next time.
All right, laters.
Bye.